Safe Harbor ladies. I was really touched this week reading 1 Peter chapter 2, and so I wanted to make that our theme. It's called Come for Becoming, and here is the verse. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. So we're coming to him to be built. And this is a quote from Jesus to Sister Mary of the Holy Trinity. With ruins, on ruins, I can build magnificently. It gives me joy to use that which has humbled itself before me, because my action is free. To submit to my action, to receive it without altering it, and to correspond with what it asks as proofs of true love. So, I thought along the lines of this theme, where we're coming just as we are to be built with God, that I'd come often the way I come to my yoga practice, which is still in my warm fuzzy socks and in my bathrobe. And when you come to your yoga practice tired, you can start in Shavasana. So that is what we are going to do today. So this practice, you will need a chair that has a back, and a block, and a strap. So if you want to pause the video and go get those things and come back, then we'll start in Shavasana. All right, see you soon. Alrighty. So, one of the ways that you can come into Shavasana is to put your lower legs up on a chair like this. It's really nice for the low back. So we'll get all snugly into Shavasana. Shrug the shoulder blades flat onto the ground. Hands are palms up, fingers curled, eyes closed, chin a little lower than the forehead. Tongue behind the top teeth, lips closed, and let everything sink and rest, being supported by the floor. And we will listen to a song about coming as we are.
He's not mad at you, and he's not disappointed. His grace is greater still than all of your own choices. He is full of mercy, and he is ever kind. His invitation, his arms are open wide. You can come as you are, with all your broken pieces, all your shameful scars, the pain you hold in your heart. Bring it all to Jesus, and you can come as you are. Louder than your voice that whispers you're unworthy. Hear the sound of love that tells a different story. Shattering your darkness and pushing through the lies. How tenderly he calls you, his arms are open wide. You can come as you
in the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Begin to rock the head from side to side, making small movements. So we're going to try and gracefully scoot ourselves up away from the chair. See if we can stay low on the mat. Bring the soles of the feet as wide as the mat, and the knees are straight up. We're going to begin windshield wipering the knees. So the knees fall to the right. Inhale them up and fall to the left. Inhale back up. And just slowly coax and encourage the body to open. We're coming as we are to be built up. And then bring the arms out more shoulder height, palms up. And as the knees fall to the right, the gaze turns to the left. And then switch. Knees to the left, head to the right. And just keep doing that, following the breath. And I'd like to tell you the Greek word for the word come in this passage. It's proserchomai. And it means to come up to, approach, draw near, consent, agree, visit. To draw near to God to seek His grace and favor. But it also speaks of priests coming to God who are about to offer sacrifices. And this next time, as we bring the knees to the right, you can bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Gaze to the left. You can press into the inner edge of the left foot and draw that left knee down and feel how that changes things in the hip. Coming as we are, agreeing with God, approaching Him, needing His grace and favor. And center the head, put down that right ankle, and then bring the knees off to the left. Left ankle stacks on top of right knee, perhaps. If that feels good. Head's turning to the right. That agreeing is like what the prodigal son did when he said, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. It's just agreeing with the truth of things and coming back. And center the head, unlock the feet. And we're going to bring the feet more in line with the hips. And bring the hands onto the femur bones. So ankles and knees and hip points are all in a line. And as we inhale, we'll press into the femurs and arch the back. And as we exhale, collapse the low back onto the floor, and you'll feel the tailbone scoop up and lift. So pressing in to the thighs on an inhale, and exhale, letting them fall back and relax. Press away and release. And keep following the breath. Arching and collapsing in that low back, and I'll tell you the Greek word for being built up. It's oikodomio, and it means erect a building, edify, encourage, to build someone up, helping them stand, to be strong and sturdy. And isn't that what Jesus does when we come to Him? He encourages us. He builds us up. He helps us to stand and become strong and sturdy. So in this practice, we started as a splatted flatty on the floor. And then as we move through our practice, we'll come into standing. Reach the legs out, toes pointed, arms overhead. We'll do a couple of the fishy wiggles we usually do at the end of class.
So the feet are drawing together. Reach through the right fingertips and right toes. So reaching away from each other. And then squinch in the left side of the body to get some more length in the right. And then squinch in the right and get some length in the left. Reaching left fingers away from left toes. And a few more. Breathing deeply. Just starting to build. Came maybe slow and quiet and not ready to do a lot. We're just slowly building till at last we end up standing. Now this is where you're going to need your strap, so roll off to the side and bring it where you can grab it. And then we're going to come on our back and lift the legs up vertical. The knees can be bent a little and arms are going to reach up. And feel how the weight of the legs is driving the femur bones down into the hip socket. So they're really rooted. You might need to play with where to place the legs so that you find that balance point where all the weight is rooting down into the hip sockets. And then let the weight of the arms bring the shoulders down onto the mat. And so they're more plugged into the shoulder girdle. And we'll just hang here for a second, feeling how supported and sturdy that is when we're all plugged in. When we come to Jesus and he is working on us, we are plugging into him, we're drawing near. And then just for fun and to begin bringing some energy into this, start to shake. You can shake everything to the same rhythm where the legs and arms are shaking to the same beat. Or if you want to bring even a little more energy, you can alternate. If you don't have that energy yet, just go back to that little simple shake. Just invigorating ourselves a little bit. Bringing some energy in. Getting edified. Getting revitalized. Then just drop it all down. I'm going to keep my left knee bent. And I'm ready to remove my fuzzy socks. Start moving a little more. Now is where our strap comes in. We're going to lift the right knee. You'll have to bend the knee to get the strap around the ball of the foot. And then bring the arms up on the strap wherever allows the shoulders to stay plugged in. Just like we had them plugging into that shoulder girdle. And then reach the heel up. So we're trying to get the legs straight. But to be vertical, your hamstrings have to be pretty loose. So you may have your Supta Hastapadigrustasana look a little more like this. Whatever. It's all right. You can come as you are. Well, we're just going to reach up through the heel without jamming too much, jamming that knee until it disappears into the leg. We'll keep a micro bend, but it's to keep it straight. So it's only like a half centimeter. We'll just give that hamstring a second to unwind, a second to be strengthened. And we're flexing the toes back towards the shin, reaching up through the heel. And then bring both sides of the strap into the right hand. And you can bring this left arm up alongside the head or onto the top of the left thigh to remind that left side of the body to stay rooted. Then angle the right toes out, so it's like the heel is the center of the clock and the toes are angled out to 2:30. And then, keeping that left side of the body rooted down, we'll let this right leg extend out. and down towards the floor. So the toes would reach first if they reach the floor, and maybe you start to feel sensation kicking in long before that's going to happen. You can bend the elbow and kind of use that elbow as a kickstand to support the leg. And maybe after a few breaths, you feel the toes lowering down towards the floor. When we draw near to Jesus, we get strengthened and edified and encouraged, and we can go further than we could before. Check in with that left side of the body. Is it still rooted down? And then lifting that leg back up. Bend the knee, release the strap. Sole of the foot to the floor. Pause and feel the difference in both sides of the body. Feel how alive and invigorated the right side is feeling. Then we're going to bring that to those same kind of qualities into the left side. So strap around the ball of the foot, flexing the toes. Arms are still, shoulders are still plugged in. So this is shoulders out, this is shoulders in and down. So find where the hands need to be on the strap to keep the shoulders down. Then press up through the heel, pulling the toes in, micro bend in the knees so the knee's not jamming back. And just give the hamstring a second to unwind. With ruins, on ruins, I can build magnificently. I love that. Then bring the strap over into the left hand and angle the toes out. So the heel is the center of the clock and toes are at 11:30. Arm can be up alongside the ear or pressing into the right side of the body so that you remind it to stay down, and then start that slow descent. And notice when you've come to your edge, and just pause there and breathe. Hold the pose without holding the breath. Coming for grace and favor. Coming because we know we need him. And he is so willing to build us up. He wants our humble cooperation. And then lifting that leg back up, bend the knee, release the strap, pause and feel the difference in the legs. The left feels balanced with the right, but at the moment, the left feels a little more invigorated because it was just moved. And now we'll extend out through that left leg, but keep the foot flexed just like you were standing on the floor. And then draw that right knee in again. Strap around the ball of the foot. And you might notice that with the left leg out, this is a bigger stretch for the right leg. And so you may need to put some slack in your strap. Maybe your leg isn't vertical just yet, and that's okay. We're going to be building towards it. Alrighty. Shoulders are down into the socket. There's not really a socket. Shoulder girdle there. And then straps over into the right hand. Not yet. Sorry, I forgot I wanted to build on to what we were doing before. So we still have a strap in each hand, and we're going to lift the head up towards the knee and draw the leg in towards the head. Pause here for a moment, and then lower back down. Now strap into the right hand, and arm can be out shoulder height, palm up with the left hand, angle the foot and let it fall off to the side. If you start to feel the left side of the body lifting up off the mat, you can press down into that left thigh to remind it to stay down. And pause here and let that open. Coming as we are to be built up by Him. You know, we call Jesus a good shepherd. We should also call Him a good carpenter. He's good at building us up. He's good at restoration projects. And then inhale, bring that leg back up. And we're going to bring the strap over into the left hand and bring the right hand into the hip crease. So the thumb is in the front of the hip crease and the index finger is wrapping around, and we're just pushing into that hip to push the hip down and rotate it out. And then we're going to swing the leg to a 45-degree angle across the body and just pause and feel the IT band start to unwind. So all along that outer seam of the leg, still pressing up through the heel, shoulders still plugging in. And then we'll roll onto the outer edge of that left foot so that we can bring the leg all the way down maybe. And then reach the right arm out off to the right and turn the head. Look, we're in a big twist. And center the head and lift the leg. Bring the hands onto both sides of the strap, and again lift the head and draw the knee in. Draw the leg in so the knee is still straight. And then bend the knee and release. Stretch both legs out long and feel the difference in the sides again. That right leg feels so good. And now we're going to keep that right leg straight on the ground and flex that right foot, just like we were standing on the floor. Draw in the left knee, wrap the strap around the ball of the foot, and place that straight leg at whatever angle is accessible. And you'll know by what the shoulders are doing. The shoulders will pop up off the ground if you're up too high on the strap, and the knee will bend if you're trying to get vertical and coming in too close. So you can pull back, make some length, and then pulling the toes towards the shin and flexing up through the heel. Little bigger stretch. We're building towards more opening. Slowly but surely. And then we'll curl up and draw the leg in. Elbows flare out to the side. You can see your toes on your right foot, so straight and tall. And then curl back down. Bring the strap over into the left hand. Toes are twisting out to the left. And you can bring that hand either down onto that right thigh to remind it to stay low as you lower the left leg. Or maybe you want to bring that arm wide out to the side. That feeling of openness. And because we're on the floor, that feeling of sturdiness and stability, of having all this support. That's what edification is. It's being strengthened. Jesus edifies us when we come to Him just as we are. And then drawing that leg back up, change hands, and bringing that webbing between the index and thumb around the outer hip, along that crease line. Woo! IT band on this side, really feeling it. So just pause and breathe into the sensation. If you notice you're holding your breath, then back out a little bit. Maybe lift the leg up a couple of inches. So just rotating that hip down and away. Get a little more opening. And then come on the outer edge of the right foot as that left leg extends off to the right, and then arm out to the left and gaze to the left. Big twist. Feel how we're building some heat, building some strength, and then turning the head back up towards the ceiling and lift that leg back up to the center. Strap in each hand, curl up towards the leg drawing in towards the head, and back down, bend the knee. Woo! Just pause and feel how lovely and open and strengthened the legs feel. Now we'll roll up to sitting, and I think since we are coming as we are, talk about some of our choices for how we can come into a comfortable seat. So this is Sukhasana with the shins crossed and the feet under the knees, and if this is comfortable and easy for you, it is called easy pose, then this will be your seat. We can also do Siddhasana, which is ankle in front of ankle. I tend to like to close down that knee joint a little bit. I get a little less pain in my knees when I do that. So Siddhasana is a choice. Vajrasana is sitting on the heels. So sit on the heels and see if that helps the spine to lift and if that feels good. And then even a little more advanced, it's sit between the heels. So this is Virasana, and it's a little harder to do, and you may need to roll out the calves to do it, but it really is a nice way to keep the spine lifted. So whichever choice, you come as you are, all are welcome here. So I'm going to come back into Sukhasana. We'll inhale the arms forward, interlace the fingers and press out through the palms. And then reaching up, you can inhale, look up, and exhale, look down. Inhale, look up again, and exhale, look down. And back to neutral. And we're going to exhale, the elbows bend wide. And inhale, we'll bring the elbows back a little further. So they're back further than the shoulders. And then exhale, bring the forearms together. Inhale, wide, wide with the elbows. And exhale, come together. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And sweep it down. So we'll inhale the arms forward again, but this time when we weave the fingers together, weave them the opposite uncomfortable way of what you would usually do. It might take a second, like that's natural, that's the other one. And then flip the palms again. Inhale the arms up, reach, reach, reach with the palms. The thumbs are facing forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And to neutral. And on an exhale, bring the elbows down. Inhale, bring those elbows back a little bit more. And exhale, close it all in. Inhale wide. And exhale. Inhale wide. And exhale. One more time. Inhale wide. And exhale. All right. We're going to get our strap again. I'm going to switch my sitting posture. I'm going to be on my heels for this. You can stay however you are comfortable. And we're going to spread the hands about 3 feet apart on the strap. And inhale, arms come up overhead.
and exhale down behind you. And if that was easy, then you can bring the hands a little closer to each other on the strap. You don't have to do much, maybe an inch on each side. And then try that flow again. If it was too hard and you're struggling to get over your head, then widen. And we'll just do a few more cycles with the breath. Just like that, we've gone from laying down to sitting. And doesn't it feel natural because it was slow? We're being built up. So come over our head and keep the right arm up and swing the left arm behind you and pull back as far as you can, and then let the weight of that left arm pull down so that the right arm opens. And see if you can do that without flaring too much with the front ribs coming forward. We don't want to overarch here. We're just sitting really tall, but letting that right arm open and right shoulder open. And then back up to overhead, and then swing the right arm back, reach back, 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 and then pull down. Just let that weight of the right arm open up the left shoulder. Feels so good. And back up to neutral. And strap comes off to the side. I'm going to transition out of my bathrobe now. I'm feeling a little more warm and awake. Come into Tadasana. We'll do a little tapping to wake up. So curl the hands and begin to tap across the diaphragm. So bottom ribs, there's muscles there that control our breathing. You can put a little soft bend in the knees. And then tap around lower ribs, diaphragm, all the way around. Waking that up. And then up to the thymus. Waking up through the thymus. Doesn't that feel good? Who knew? That was like a go button. Come as you are and then get built together. And then we're going to bring the fingertips onto the crown of the head, and just like we were pulling the two halves of the skull apart, crown pulling, pull apart, soft bend in the knees to help us not crush ourselves down into the ground. And then release that and just bounce. Bounce and start to shake. If you get a little carpal tunnel-y in the wrist, you might want to be a little gentle with your wrists, but you can start to shake the hands and arms. And add a little more vigor. Maybe bounce the heels. Bring a little more energy in. And we're standing. From splatted flatty to standing. And now we're going to bring our chair to the end of our mat so that the back of the chair is further away from us. Bring the left foot so that it's centered under the chair, kind of at 12 o'clock. And we'll bring the right foot back, so heel mid-arch alignment. We're going to do a triangle pose with the chair as a prop. And so we'll lift the arms out, shoulder height, and feel that rotation of the front thigh rotating out and the back thigh rotating in. And then kick that back hip back, reach, reach, reach. And then we don't have far to go. That hand comes down to the chair, but feel how open your triangle feels, having that support. Heart can turn upward towards the palm, so the heart and the palm are in alignment.
And then exhale, reach over the ear. Pinky side of the hand is at the bottom. And then inhale up. And exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. And come as we are. And He builds us and makes us strong. And we are so grateful that we bring Him thank offerings. So this little hand coming over, bring a thank offering. Thank you, Jesus, for receiving me just as I am, for accepting me, for loving me, for building me up and encouraging me. And then we're going to turn towards that chair. We have to walk the feet so that they're hip width apart. So check, see if your pelvis is square. You can have the hands on the chair. This back foot is angled so that the toes are a little bit out and the heel is a little bit in. And then we're going to fold into a Parsvottanasana. And as we fold, you can hold onto the chair. Feel how lovely that is to have that support. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. And pausing there. And you may notice that the seat of the chair is in such a location that you can bring your forehead down. Mine wasn't quite ready to go all the way to the chair, so I'm stacking my hands. But as the legs start to stretch out, maybe the forehead can go down onto the wood, and use that edge of the chair to press the skin of the forehead down towards the eyebrows, and close the eyes. Feel how that calms and centers us, being built together and strengthened, built up by relying on Him. And coming up, and we're going to do a revolved triangle. And so I'm going to bring my right hand to the corner, the left side of the chair. So it's further out than my front foot. And then bring my left hand onto my hip and then start to twist from the hips first. So you'll feel the left hip moving back, right hip moving forward. Feel that scissoring action in the legs. And then that twist travels up the spine. Head turns last, and then maybe reaching that left arm up. Requires a little balance, huh? So glad the chair is there. That chair is a reminder of what it's like to have Jesus building us up, supporting us, strengthening us, encouraging us. And then come out same way we came in, both hands on the chair, and come down again into Parsvottanasana. Left hip moving back, right hip moving forward. Forehead maybe to the chair or to the back of the hands. And then coming up, lining up, heel, mid-arch alignment, hand on the chair, and we'll build our triangle up from the chair. And come up. And I'm going to move my chair so that I'm facing the camera. You might be able to stay just where you are, but I'm going to bring my right foot under the chair and come into that triangle. So first, spiral the thighs out and in. Arms out shoulder height, hip kicks back, hand quickly finds the chair. And then feel that openness in the triangle. Can you bring the big toe ball mound of that front foot down? Can you root into the outer edge of that back foot? Gaze lifted, heart lifted. And then exhale, reach overhead. We're being built into a spiritual temple. We're being built into a holy priesthood. We're making offerings to God that are acceptable to Him
through Christ Jesus. Inhaling up and exhaling, reach, making those offerings. Heart lifted. And then turn, face the chair, and spread the feet hip width apart. And then we can start to, that back heel's angled in. We can start to come down. I'm noticing my front knee is dropping in a little bit. Micro bend in that front knee. Don't hyperextend. Then right hip back, left hip forward. Begin to come down towards the chair. You can stack the hands. Maybe the forehead can reach. Pressing into the big toe ball mound of the right foot. Maybe a few breaths in, you can bring the forehead all the way to the chair. Eyes closed. So grateful that we can come and be built up by Him. And rising up, left hand comes to the outside of the right foot. So we're on the chair over the outside of that right foot. And right hand is on the hip, and then we start turning pelvis first. Then heart turns, then neck and head turn. And then maybe reach up with the right arm. Little wobbles of balance. Little smile that we have this support. And then sweep it back down. And fold again. And rising up. Heel in line with the mid-arch of the back foot, and then build your triangle up from there. And rising up. I'm going to move my chair back to original position, as we don't need it for one hot second here. And we'll do that sequence. Without the chair, we've been built up to this state. So my left foot is at 12 o'clock, right foot stepping out a little further this time. Arms up shoulder height, check that heel mid-arch alignment and root into the outer edge of the back foot. Kick the hip back, reach, reach, reach. And maybe hand comes to the shin or the ankle, or the inside of the foot, up on the fingertips. Feel the length from the tailbone all the way out through the crown. Micro bend in that front knee. And then we're gonna sweep the hands down, bring that back foot in. So we're in that Parsvottanasana, and feel the back hip coming forward, front hip going back, and fold. And inhale, get long, and bow. Inhale, lift, and bow again. Thank offerings. One more time, up and extend. And down. Now, revolve triangle with hand on the outside of the foot is the most challenging. So I'm going to recommend hand on the inside of the foot, maybe up on the fingertips. And then left hand on that front hip, and then start to turn the pelvis. And see what happens with your balance, if you need to keep holding onto the hip or if the arm can extend. Really scissoring those legs together so you can get as much distance between the tailbone and the crown of the head, as much lift and turn with the heart. And then rotate back down and come up. Fingertips together behind the back. Anjali Mudra behind the back with the hands in prayer position or holding the elbows. And we'll just do one short Parsvottanasana. And rising up. Recommitting the feet to a triangle posture. And I'm going to bring my right arm behind and grab a hold of that front thigh or t-shirt and reach the left arm forward. Reach, reach, reach. And we'll do a bound triangle. So, lifting the heart, turning the gaze. And release. And we'll turn in the other direction. So triangle on the other side. Arms out shoulder height, hip kicks back. Find a place for the hand. Maybe ankle, maybe shin, maybe floor. Heart is lifting up to the palm of the hand. Big toe ball mound on that front foot is really rooting down. Outer edge of the back foot rooting down. Micro bend in that front knee. And then turn down. Step that back foot out a little bit to the left so that the pelvis is square. We're going to come up on the fingertips and extend long. And exhale, bow. Come up. And on that bow, feel the front hip moving back, back hip moving forward. Bringing our thank offerings. That He is such a good carpenter. That He is so willing to receive us. And this time we'll bring the left hand on the inside of the right foot, maybe up on the fingertips, right hand on the hip, and start to turn and rotate the hips. Pausing whenever you need to catch your balance. Squeezing the legs together so you have a strong foundation to reach out of. Turning the heart and gaze upward. If that's a strain on the neck, you can look downward. And sweep it back down. And come up. Reverse Anjali Mudra. Or grab the elbows. We'll do one more Parsvottanasana, flat back. Building strength. Becoming stronger. And then set the feet for triangle pose again. Bring the left hand behind you to grasp that front thigh or the shirt. Reaching the right arm out as the left hip kicks back and come into a bound triangle. And rise. All right, so now we're ready to turn our chair. Well, we're going to start with our block on our chair, even though we're kind of running out of time. And what we did before, that Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, where we were laying on the floor and extending our leg with the strap, we're going to do standing up. And so the leg is going to extend out in front of us and come onto the seat of the chair. And see how the pelvis is stacked and this standing leg is very straight and the toes are pointing forward and the shoulders are down and we're in a nice elegant line. And you can bring the strap over the ball of the foot and extend long like that. If this isn't high enough for you to be feeling anything, this is where the block comes in. So you can have it at the low, medium, or high height. I have a little bit of a bump in there for sitting down. It's not a yoga chair, it's just a chair. But we'll do the best we can with what we have. So we'll just come into this Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana with a strap. Get long and elegant and stable. We're being built and encouraged, and we're getting stronger every day. And then we're going to bring the strap over into our left hand and start to turn. Maybe the hand needs to be on the hip. Turn towards that extended leg. Woo! And reach that right arm back. And then coming back. Woo! And this is a little funny to get that cross in the legs. Let me see. How are we going to do this? We did cross this way. Oh, all right. So we have to put the left foot facing out, and then we can bring that leg out onto our block or the chair. And I'm not going to use the strap for this one. I'm just going to reach. If you'd like to, you can bring the strap over the ball of the foot and release. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So left leg goes up and get all square. See how my foot is angled first? Let's make that right foot get really perpendicular. It's at 12 o'clock. Then the left leg can reach out. And now the pelvis can be square and level to the front. And we can bring that strap over the ball of the foot and get tall. And then bringing both straps into the right hand this time, we'll twist off to the left. Reaching out. Woo! Lot of balance. And then coming back. And you can keep that foot there and rotate the bottom foot, the foot you're standing on, so that that foot can stay in the strap, and then reach out with the right arm. And release. All right, a little more challenging. We're going to turn our chair now. This is why I was getting confused. We're doing a whole sequence, getting stronger and stronger and more built up together. But before we start, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana is about extending the big toe. And we haven't done that yet. So we're going to come up to a wall. If you want to find a wall where you can, back against the wall. And we're going to get really rooted in the left leg and reach down the inside of the right leg, drawing up the knee, and grab the big toe. So it's these two fingers, peace fingers together, go in between the big toe and the next toe. And we're drawing the knee up so it's towards the ceiling, okay? We're not letting it fall out. It's kind of in line with the hip. And we're seeing if that standing leg can stay straight. And the wall is here to remind us to keep the shoulder back. Remember when we laid on the floor in the beginning where we brought the shoulders down into the ground? We're going to try and extend this leg without letting the shoulder come out of the shoulder girdle much. And that might mean that this is your extension. And yet it's such a big work. Maybe it can go a little further. Mine's starting to pull away from the wall. And release. So we're just using that wall for feedback right now. So we'll reach down and grasp the left big toe. Rooting. I need to shift back to the wall so that bottom leg can be straight. See if you can get your shoulder blades back towards the wall, really square across the chest. Knee is towards the ceiling, and then start to lift. And see how hard it is when you're asking the hamstring to do it instead of just releasing out of the shoulder. Keeping that bottom leg straight. We're being built strong, sturdy by a God who loves us. And down. But wait, we're not through. We're going to come and using the back of our chair for balance, we're going to root into that left leg, get super strong and tall. We don't want this knee to collapse just because we're going to be extending through the right. So the hand on the back of the chair will help. So reach down, grab that big toe again, lifting up super tall, and then see how extending feels. That bottom knee really wants to bend to get more extension in this leg. But pull it back, pull that knee back so that the shoulder can stay back and get tall in that standing leg. And then maybe swing the leg off to the side and open a little more. And swing it back and down. Now I'm gonna have to face this way to get that twist going. So my right hand is on the chair, and then I grab the big toe with my left hand. So it's right foot, left hand. And then reach that leg off to the left and turn the torso to the right. Trying to stay strong and tall in that standing leg. If you have it in you, you can let go of the chair. And bend the knee and release. And I'm going to bring the chair around to the other side. Woohoo! And right hand on the chair, right foot is really stable. 12 o'clock foot. We're going to reach down, fingers between the toes, knee up towards the ceiling, and then keeping the shoulders pulling back and keeping that bottom knee straight. Woo! Extend! Extend through the big toe. And then maybe swing that leg off to the side and extend a little more. And come back. And once again, I have to turn. So my left hand's on the chair. Reach down, right hand to big toe on the left foot this time. And extend out and turn. So I'm turning towards the chair. Twisting the torso. See if we can keep that standing leg strong. Outer hip rotating down, just like we did when we were on the back. And release. Woo! I don't know about you, but I'm a little shaky. Because that's a posture I'm working on, it means that I can overdo it and get ambitious, and then I end up a little shaky because I've added tension to my muscles. So we're going to come into a little bit of a standing restorative. So separate the legs wide, come down onto the hands. See if all the weight is evenly distributed in the feet. See, the tendency is to rock back into the heels, but we're going to stay strong into the whole foot. And then coming down, bring the block at the highest height under the hairline, forehead. And we'll just pause here. Use that support of the block to release. Notice the breath slowing down. How strengthened and edified we feel when we come to Christ. And He encourages us and makes us sturdy and strengthens us. You might find you have to adjust as you go because you're loosening up a little bit. Maybe you'll need to lower the block a notch. With ruins and on ruins, I can build magnificently. Thank you, Jesus, for being our good carpenter. And coming up off the block, and the hands in. I like to bend the knees when I come up a little bit. Can heel toe it in. We'll come down for our cool down. So come on to the back. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe rock from side to side. This last sequence is for back release. So if you're ever getting a little squinchy in your low back, you can just do these last poses. Hands on the heads of the knees and begin to circle. Apart and in and apart. And soles of the feet to the floor. Bring the right ankle across the top of the left thigh. Flex the foot. You can draw in that left thigh if that feels good, or just keep the sole of the foot on the floor and push the inner right thigh away. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then arms out, shoulder height, palms up, left sole of the foot comes on the floor, and then let that whole leg package fall off to the left till the sole of the right foot rests on the floor, and then the gaze goes out over that right arm. And center the head, lift the leg package up. Swap out legs, so left ankle across the top of the right thigh, flex the foot, draw it in, or push that left thigh away. Maybe rock. Maybe enjoy the stillness. And then right sole of the foot down, and let that whole leg package fall off to the right, and gaze to the left. Maybe feel the interesting sensation of a cold screen under your foot. Center the head, lift the top knee, and then the bottom. And we'll go into Shavasana. You can extend the legs out long. If you enjoyed having the lower legs up on the chair, you are welcome to do that as well. Or come into this recuperative rest pose with the feet at this, I think it's constructive rest pose. Soles of the feet to the edge of the mat, knees falling in. And come as you are, so he can make you stand and be sturdy. And close the eyes.
Darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken, no, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love.
Deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Begin to rock the head from side to side, making small movements. Inhale the arms up overhead, and we're just going to right away roll over onto our right side using that bottom arm as a pillow. And rest in the fetal position for a breath or two. Use the hands to press into the floor and come up into a comfortable seated-in. Inhale the arms up overhead and palms come together at the heart. Jesus, we are so encouraged when we hear you say, with ruins, on ruins, I can build magnificently. It gives me joy to use that which has humbled itself before me, because my action is free. To submit to my action, to receive it without altering it, and to correspond with what it asks, is a proof of true love. And Lord, because we have that hope that you are calling us and inviting us to come as we are. We come, as Peter said, we come to you, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him. And we come like living stones, and we are being built by you into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood. And Lord, we bring thank offerings and spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God because you have made them so. And Jesus, thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for saving us. In your precious name we pray. Amen. I'll see you at Bible study.